And get ready to dive into the heart of local sports action. Broadcasting live from the heartland of Missouri. Welcome to the SEMO Scramble on SEMO ESPN. It's now time to catch up on the latest local highlights, in-depth analysis, and interviews from the Boot Heel and beyond. Here's your host, Rusty Hendricks.
Welcome in. Good Saturday morning to you. It's the SEMO Scramble here on SEMO ESPN Radio, 1220 AM, 93.5 FM, and always online at SEMOESPN.com. You can also check us out on the free SEMO ESPN app. It's a free download. You can take it anywhere with you, in the palm of your hand, on any device. Very handy, and I love having that. I use that all the time, toggling between different stations, looking at the different contests, the podcast page. They did a good job of kind of revamping that for us. A lot of new podcasts out there. Our radio group has put together some good ones to check out, and hopefully you can check out the SEMO Scramble. If you missed any of the interviews, any of the show, go back. We'll have it up right after the show. We'll have the podcast page. You can check that out and listen to previous shows as well. All right. Happy to have you with you. I tell you what, I'm a little, I don't know, not discouraged. That's not the right word. Just a little, a little disappointed that I guess that the football season is winding down. I mean, it's, regular season's done, folks. It's done. This is the last week. District play happens. Now, look, I'm excited for districts. I'm ready to go. I think there's some good storylines. It's been a fun season. Just a little sad that the season is kind of leaving us here. But great interviews this morning. And here first we have David Jenkins of Aycorp Sports, and does some good work with them. And he's going to be joining us here. And so David Jenkins joins us now on our phone line, talking about a little high school football here. So, David, how we doing?
I'm like you. I'm a little sad that this regular season's over. It seemed like it just started, and we're already over. But it's good to be here with you this morning.
Well, let's get into it. Again, a lot of good storylines. We got a lot to talk about because district play is upon us, and we have an idea on whose matchups we got going in the first round, maybe who has some buys, who gets the number one seed. We'll talk about, too. I want to get your thoughts, David, here towards the end of our interview. Who do you think has the best path to a district championship and then playoff success? Who has the best path? So we will talk about that. Interested to see what your thoughts are on there. But let's get through some of the games. How about this one? We'll start in Class 6. Jackson at Festus. Festus grabbed the early lead, Dave. They were up on a kickoff return. Actually, they had a couple of kickoff returns for touchdowns in the ball game. You wondered, okay, Jackson really hasn't had a test at all for several weeks now. You know, could Festus, who's right now the number one seed in Class 4, could they give Jackson any test? Nah, not really. Jackson with a victory, 62-21. Their offense prevails and does well, and they're going to be the number one seed in Class 6, David, and they're going to have a first-round bye. The train keeps on rolling. Jackson keeps impressing.
Yeah, this is one of the best Jackson teams I think I've ever seen. They're just loaded on both sides of the ball, and the only weakness I've seen from them this year is that they do allow a few kickoff returns here and there. But man, they are really good, and they just kind of name their score on a lot of teams. But they're fun to watch, and they're really good.
So, I mean, look, with Parsons at quarterback, with their good wide receivers as well, including Jory Toma, that's really a guy that's exploded this year in the football scene. We saw what he could do last year as a sophomore on the basketball court, but what he's been able to do, of course, Jalen Hampton, Maddox, Memphis Maddox as well, another backup running back. They're great bookend tackles, and then I think the most impressive thing to me, David, has been their defense. they have elite speed on the back end with literally track stars, guys like Blaine Reagan back there. Tyler Fisher's really good at safety. He stepped up this year. I mean, their defense has been really solid, and I don't know. I mean, I'm hoping they can make a run. Again, we've compared them to the 2020 team in which they won the state title. I don't know if they can do that and replicate that per se, but boy, they are impressive.
Yeah, they are. And I mean, the only thing that, they play in Class 6, so you're going to have some tough teams once you, even in district, but once you get out of that district, there's some really tough teams, in front of them. But if there's any team that can challenge them, I think it's this Jackson team. Like you said, they're loaded offensively, defensively. I mean, there's really not a lot of weaknesses. And so hopefully, I want to see them make a deep run.
All right, another game. It was a game that I was at, Kennett and Cape Central. And Cape Central gets the victory, 35-8. And we had a reappearance, David. A reappearance of, in my opinion, one of the best running backs in the entire area. He's proven it over to his career. Keyshawn Boyd, who broke his tibia in week 1, has been out this entire time. It's amazing to me that this guy can be back and playing. I mean, I thought what had happened, I was like, he's done for the year. He's done. I mean, there's Cape Central season's done. But, boy, Central's been able to hang tough. I mean, their only losses are against ranked opponents this year for Central. So, yeah, I know it hasn't been as stellar and as impressive as some of their games, and they're still good. And now that they're getting healthier, okay, Matthew Pope, their left tackle, who's been hurt, came back last night. They're expecting another tackle who's a starter back next week. They're starting defensive end Mason Oliver, expected to be back next week. So they're getting healthy and getting ready for districts. They look to be the number 2 seed in Class 5 District 1 is Cape Central, Dave. And to have Keyshawn Boyd back. Now, look, he ended up with around 70, 72 rushing yards last night on about 15, 16 carries. So it was solid, not, crazy great numbers or anything like that, but he's getting his feet wet. And look, he looked good. I mean, I'm not going to say he's maybe 100% explosive, that sort of thing, but he's definitely a guy that's going to make a difference when postseason comes around.
Oh, absolutely. It's great to see him back, and he makes them so much better because, I think Cape Central's played well defensively all year long. It's just they've just kind of needed that one more piece on offense, and like you said, getting the tackles back are going to help as well. And I think Cape Central is if they can continue to get healthy, I think they've got a great chance to make a run in that district. And I know that they lost a close game to Farmington early in the year, but you add these pieces back in that game, that changes a little bit. And I'm certainly not going to bet against a Coach Gibbs team in district. So that's Cape Central. I think they're kind of coming together at the right time, and it's great to see Boyd back.
Yeah, I think in that Farmington game they turned the ball over like 4 times. Torrance Murray, by the way, had over 200 rushing yards against Farmington. Good luck stopping both Murray and Boyd if they face off in districts. But that's actually the most points they've scored this year. 35 points, getting it done over Kennett. Look, Ty Jones played well, but they just couldn't run the ball. They could not run the ball and find traction there. Their one big score was a big play to D. Anthony. I think it was something like 59 yards, something like that, on a strike down the field. So for Kennett, I think they're going to be a 5 seed in their district is what it looks like. It's going to be a tough district for them in Class 3, District 1 with Dexter Potosi, Scott City and company. And it looks like it's going to be Scott City and Kennett probably going to face off against each other in the opening round. So that's not going to be an easy game for them.
No, it's not. That's a tough district. And Kennett, they've had flashes where they look pretty good, but I think it comes down to the line play. I think when they play teams that have a pretty good offensive and defensive line, I think that causes them some problems. They're not, like I said, not able to run the ball, and Jones doesn't have a lot of time to throw the ball. And I think that's kind of the key for them is they've got to have that good line play. And I think that wherever they face a team that has a better line, they kind of struggle.
All right, Charleston at Sykeston. I thought this was going to be a better game. I thought there was a real shot that Charleston could pick up the victory, but it was not to be. Sykeston taking care of business, 55-12, and that's a very good win for Sykeston. It's an impressive win. look, I know it's against a smaller school, Class 1 and all that. I get it's a rivalry game, Dave, and these two teams don't like each other. They always seem to play tough against each other. And, look, I don't know if Sikeston can make any noise in districts, but they obviously had an injury with Kenneth Holcomb. Stepping in as Keon Atkins at running back. He's been a dynamic wide receiver, and he's still going to catch some balls for them. But that seems to be a difference maker for them. When they switched him at running back, they've been a different team.
Yeah, I was at this game, and Keon Atkins, he put on a show last night. He had, probably about 85 yards rushing. It seemed like he was scoring every time he touched the ball, but he rushed for a couple of touchdowns. He had two big returns, one of them for a touchdown. He caught a touchdown pass. He had an interception. I mean, he was doing everything for him. And you're right. I mean, since they put him at running back, he's really kind of reinvigorated this team. And of course you have Pierce Baker too, who's throwing the ball, making good decisions. And for Sikeston, it's always you covered Sikeston for a lot of years, and they've always been able to kind of throw the ball, but catching the ball has been a big issue for them. And they've found some receivers that are making these catches that they need to make, and at the right time of the year. And I think they can win a district game. I think they might have Hillsboro in this first game. Hillsboro's kind of lost 3 in a row, and it could be I know that Prairieville still has a play today, so that could change. But as of right now, I think they're playing Hillsboro, and I think that's a game that Sikeston could win. Yeah,
and again, good to see them playing well. Of course, Pierce Baker, the record holder for the most passing yards in a single season in Sikeston history. So that's pretty impressive as well. So can their defense hold up? Because obviously Sam McGill, one of the best defenders in the entire area, I think he's already over 100 tackles now in Sam McGill, but he's helping lead them defensively. But how about this game? Dexter at Scott City. Was this a get-right game for them? They came back after a tough loss against Park Hills. They get a victory 35-3 over Scott City. Statement for Dexter. They handled Scott City well, and Dexter primed as that top seed in their district as well. As look, I don't know. Maybe this loss last week against Park Hills was a good thing. Maybe that helps charge the batteries a little bit for them. But Dexter, Potosi, Park Hills, and Scott City, kind of the top 4 in that district.
Yeah, I think, it's kind of a question of how Dexter would respond after that tough loss last week, and they responded in a big way. I mean, they played really well, especially in the second half. Scott City had a week to prepare for them and seemed ready for them early. They kind of took away some of the things that Dexter liked to do, but Dexter made some adjustments and really kind of came out, especially in the second half, and just dominated the game. And their defense looked really good. I mean, they held Underwood under 50 yards, and that doesn't happen very often. Yeah. And they looked good, and they were even missing one of their big weapons in Wernick there. That he got hurt against Park Hill Central early in that game, so they did it without one of their bigger weapons. He should be back for district. So it was a good win for Dexter, and they're fortunate to get that top seed, because I think that's a tough district with Scott City, Potosi, and Park Hill Central. I think they're all kind of grouped in there together. Any of those teams could beat each other, and I think it's key getting that top seed if you're Dexter and getting to play at home.
I think it's Dexter's to lose, right? I mean, they should be the heavy favorite.
They should be. Especially playing at home. They play really well at home, a lot better than they do on the road. But I would think that they're the favorite. I don't know about a heavy favorite, because Park Hill Central, they're pretty good. They looked really good, but they kind of caught Dexter off balance in that fourth quarter last week. And I think Dexter is something to prove now. I think they're kind of fired up a little bit after getting that loss.
All right, a couple other scores. We'll be quick here. We saw on Thursday night, New Madrid at Portageville. This was another, it's not that Portageville surprising that they won, but a little surprising about the spread. 34-0. They get the victory, dominate New Madrid there on Thursday. So Portageville has been kind of a little bit up and down this year, but they're showing some spunk here late. Kelly versus Deer Creek, Illinois, I'll be honest, and I don't know anything about Deer Creek. So, but they get the win 50-13 over Kelly. So Kelly, tough game there. East Prairie traveling to Fredericktown, 40-14. Fredericktown getting the victory over East Prairie. We saw Hayti over Malden. No surprise there. 44-0. Hayti with a big win as well. And any of those games stand out, Dave, on Thursday night and then over the last night as well?
I think like you, the Portersville game surprised me a little bit with the score. Not that they won, but they just completely dominated the line of scrimmage, and I was kind of surprised by that. New Matter just couldn't get anything going offensively. I think Portersville is the most improved team from the beginning of the year to the end of the year. They have improved a ton, and they're going to make some noise in that Class 1, District 1. That's a tough team, a team that I wouldn't want to face if I was in that district.
For sure. Dave Jenkins joining me now again, a part of Aycorp Sports here at the SEMO Scramble this morning. Poplar Bluff with a good win, 30-21 over Hillsboro. You mentioned Hillsboro could face Sykeston next week. Bluff, with that win, pretty much ensured they're not going to be the final seed in districts for Class 5, so they get the win. How about St. Vincent? Impressive win over Jefferson Festus, 41-8. And then St. Gen over Caruthersville, 30-9. I'm not surprised that St. Gen won, but I thought Caruthersville would make it closer, and I actually picked Caruthersville to win, but boy, just didn't seem like things worked out right, and for whatever reason, Caruthersville has had issues with teams up north.
Yeah, they struggle with anybody from St. Genevieve, but St. Genevieve, that defense shut Crowsville down. They had less than 50 yards in the first half, and Crowsville just couldn't move the ball on. They didn't score a touchdown until like in the last 30 seconds of the game. It was that St. Genevieve team just kind of shut them down, and their quarterback Ferranto up there, he's impressive. He had about 150 yards passing, almost 200 yards rushing. He's a tough. Tough kid to defend, and they just did a really nice job defensively on Crowsville, and Crowsville couldn't stop their quarterback.
Another game, Saxony Lutheran, nice win, 55-29. When they have an opportunity, they love to air it out and scoring some points there. And they also ran the ball well last night against Red Bud, Illinois. So good win for Saxony going into districts. Valley Catholic, 14-7. They complete an undefeated regular season win over St. Pius, the 10th. They're a really good team, Dave. So Valley Catholic with a good win, and then Farmington 56-12 over Park Hills. All right, Dave, gone through all the scores. Now I want to go through some of the district action. So let's start in Class 1. Class 1, District 1. You mentioned Saxony, Charleston, Porterville, Hayti, and Malden. Right now, as far as points, Saxony with the lead. Because of the head-to-head, do we think Charleston could leapfrog them to be the number one seed? Or how do you see that district, shaking out? I think any of the top four seeds in Class 1 could potentially win it, and I really don't know who the favorite would be.
Yeah, I'm exactly with you on that one. I think Charleston will get the top seed over Saxony, and I think Saxony will play Hayti, and then Portersville and Malden will be in that play-in game. But it would not shock me to see Portersville come out of that 4 seed and win this district. Any of those 4 teams, Charleston, Saxony, Hayti, or Portersville, just kind of a flip your coin. Whoever is playing the best that night's going to win, and that's going to be just a very competitive district and a fun district to watch.
In Class 2, District 1, as of right now, you have St. Pius with more points. Caruthersville there 7-2. St. Vincent also in that district, kind of a 3 seed. Then you have New Madrid, Kelly, and East Prairie rounding things out in districts. Because of the head-to-head again, do you see Caruthersville there towards the top, and what's their chances of maybe winning districts?
Yeah, Crowsville should leapfrog with the head-to-head victory in Week 1 over St. Pius. But I tell you what, St. Pius playing Valley the way they did last night, they're looking really good. Yep. So that'll be a tough out. And St. Vincent's playing really well as well. So whoever comes out of the bottom part of that bracket, I think Crowsville makes it to the district championship, and I think they've got a really good chance to win it and make some noise in the playoffs. But they're going to get a challenge from, I think, St. Pius or St. Vincent. I think both of those teams are playing well right now. So that'll be another tough district. But I kind of like Crowsville to come out of it.
I'm with you on that. Class 3, District 1, we mentioned Dexter, 8-1. They're the 1 seed. Potosi, Park Hill, Scott City, 2, 3, and 4. Then Kennett, Donovan, Fredericktown. Do you like Dexter coming out? What about Potosi? Do you see Park Hills there? Could Scott City make a run?
I think Scott City will challenge Dexter if they play them in the semifinals. But I think Dexter gets to the championship game and up there. I think they play probably Park Hill Central. I think Park Hill Central always plays well. They get that. I think in Dexter playing Park Hill Central in that rematch, I think they're going to be fired up, motivated, playing at home. I like Dexter to get out of this district.
Class 3, District 2. Valley Catholic. There's Lift for Life, okay, with San Jen, Herculaneum. I don't know. I mean, maybe San Jen could do a little something, but it's got to be Lift for Life and Valley Catholic in the championship of districts, right?
Yeah, I would think so, and that'll just be a battle. It's hard to go against Valley. I mean, they just every year they just have an outstanding team. I saw Lift for Life last year against Dexter in the quarterfinals, and they were outstanding. So that would be a tremendous district championship game, and I would assume that the winner of that game would probably be favored over the winner of Class 3 District 1. So that'll be a battle between Valley and Lift for Life for sure.
Class 4 District 1, Festus going to be the number 1 seed. They'll get the bye. You have Perryville, Hillsboro, DeSoto, and then Sykeston, North County, and Windsor. Anybody that can test Festus, you think? Could Perryville do that, or even Sykeston be a little spunky?
I just don't see it. I think Festus kind of rolls through this district. I just seeing them, especially the way they played Jackson early, I just feel like they're heads and tails better than everybody else in this district, and it's definitely their district to lose.
Class 5 District 1, we mentioned Farmington, the number 1 seed. They got the head-to-head win over Cape Central. Cape Central, number 2 seed. Bluff is in there, Webster Groves, Fox, Miller Crew, Melville, but I kind of think it's a rematch of Farmington and Central, and because of the health, I think Cape has a real shot to win in Class 5 District 1.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I like Cape Central in this district, but as long as they continue to stay healthy and get everybody healthy, and I like them. Another game that's kind of a revenge game. They know they didn't play very well against Farmington the first time. Coach Gibbs is going to have them fired up to play that game, and I kind of like Cape Central in this district.
All right, and the last one we kind of already talked about it, but Jackson in Class 6 District 1. I just don't see any of their opponents in district really giving them a shot. I mean, look, Northwest Cedar here, Seckman and Oakville all have pretty good seasons, 7-2. There's Lindbergh in there as well, but I just don't see them comparing with Jackson.
I don't either. I think this Jackson team is going to roll through this district and continue to have the great season they've been having, and then we'll see what happens when they get out of district, because they've got some tough opponents ahead of them. But I like Jackson to roll through this district. All
right. I alluded to it at the very end. This is the last question. I'll let you go. Again, Dave Jenkins joining us from Aycorp Sports does a great job. You can follow his podcast out there as well, the SEMO Sports Zone. He does a great job. I think you guys release that every Monday. Plug out there, 7 a.m., SEMO Sports Zone off of Aycorp Sports. But last thing, I alluded to it earlier. Who do you think, give me a team or two that you think could actually make a state run or, get out of districts and do something in the playoffs? My pick would be Jackson, but what is your pick?
I've got two teams. I like Jackson, like you said. We've talked about them, but I just think they're outstanding. I think they're obviously heads and tails the best team in Southeast Missouri. And the other team I think can make a little bit of a run here is if they get out of district. I think it's Caruthersville. I think Caruthersville can make a run in Class 2. And I mean, Sammy Bryant, as long as he stays healthy, they've got some explosive ability. They play well. Their defense has improved from last year, I think, and I think they're a team that can make a little run here.
Love it. Dave, man, appreciate the time. Thanks so much for joining us, and I'll be tuned in to your podcast for sure on Monday, breaking everything down, getting ready for districts. And of course, there's a game here today. And again, I do want to make a quick note. I know a lot of teams, Dave, are deciding that they're going to play the first round of districts on Thursday. They're going to play it on Thursday instead of Friday, so that's something to keep in mind this week as well.
Yeah, get an extra day of preparation for the next opponent, and maybe smart.
All right, Dave. Enjoy your weekend, buddy. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Anytime.
All right, Dave Jenkins. Appreciate him for joining us this morning. We'll take a quick break. We'll go over the World Series Game 1 last night. Blue Jays, Dodgers. Okay, why do I think the Blue Jays have a real shot? I'll tell you about it next. Here are the SEMO Scramble.
Division series comes in here, struggles. Barger sends a towering drive, right center.
Pure pandemonium in Toronto, Canada. Welcome back to the SEMO Scramble here on SEMO ESPN. First game of the World Series. You have the Blue Jays, you have the Dodgers, the Blue Jays with the one-game better record, so they get the host. And remember, they had World Series appearances back in 92 and 93. First time they've been back since then. And it was the Dodgers who had an early lead, but the home run heard around Canada was last night in Barger and broke the game completely open last night. And believe it or not, it was the first pinch hit grand slam in World Series history. So pretty impressive there. Let's get to some other highlights. It was, again, the early lead for the Dodgers. A couple of base hits get going. Didn't have his best stuff was Blake Snell. But in a 2-0 Dodger lead, Dalton Varsho up at the plate to knot it up.
And he hits a ball hard to center field. It is going. It is gone.
So Varsho, that was on, by the way, Sportsnet TV with Dan Shulman, the voice of the Blue Jays. So because in Canada, they can have that other broadcast. And Dan Shulman on the call there, the Blue Jays guy, and tied it up 2-2 with that one. Ernie Clement a little bit later and getting things going. It was the huge sixth inning, 9 runs in that sixth inning that got him going. This was the go-ahead hit that put the Blue Jays on top.
Middle infield back, corners even with the bats. Clement gets his way through. Blue Jays take the lead. Station to station, 3-2. Ernie Clement delivers again.
Courtesy of Fox and Joe Davis. So, again, that home run by Barger, we opened that up. That blew it open, but the Blue Jays get the victory last night to take game one. Look, obviously the Dodgers are heavily favored, and I would agree with that. And if I had to put money on it, which I'm not going to, but if I did, I would put it on the Dodgers. However, I think the Blue Jays have a shot, and the reason being is because of their offense is solid, and they do not strike out much. The Dodgers, even though they have a great offense and a great starting pitching staff, the weaknesses to me for the Dodgers are the bullpen. Listen to this. So in a series between two teams, when a team is able to face the same reliever for the third time, okay, we're talking about game 5, 6, 7, right? For the third time, the opponent's OPS is 860 and higher. So if they can get to their bullpen, find a way to get to them, the Dodgers' weakness is that. And for the Toronto Blue Jays, if they can find a way to get some punch-outs with their pitching staff, the Dodgers had double-digit strikeouts last night. That is an issue. If you don't put the ball in play, and even if you hit a home run, we saw Ohtani hit a home run last night. Maybe it's a solo shot. Maybe it's just a 2-run blast. But the Blue Jays, if they can find a way to continually get guys on base, work walks, find a way to put the ball in play, maybe, get some errors here and there, take advantage of that for the Dodgers. They got a shot, and we'll see if they can do it here. Another game tonight, Yamamoto and Gausman, big swing game, because if the Blue Jays can find a win tonight, we're talking about a different storyline coming up for the rest of the series. All right, how about Mizzou and Vandy? Game day is there, and Mizzou, can they find a way to win? They got a big win over Auburn last week on the road, trying to go on the road against Vandy. Both teams 6-1. A winner of this game really jettisons himself with a chance to maybe make the playoff. The loser would have to run the table the rest of the way and really make it really tough to get into the college football playoff if they lose. So it really is a must-win game for Mizzou and a really programmed statement. I know it's Vandy. I don't feel great about it. Diego Pavia could be the difference. Mizzou has to run the football. They have to be able to find the way to run the football, and Bo Pribula at quarterback has to take care of it. 7 interceptions this year. Got to take care of the football. All right, Redhawks, the SEMO Redhawks, in Tennessee Tech, the number 1 ranked team in the conference, the 8th ranked team in the nation in FCS. 3-4 SEMO against 7-0 Tech. Big game. Could SEMO get the upset? I think there's a shot. Jax Leatherwood and also quarterback for the Red Hawks, is back potentially. Johnny Weber, though, I think could also play a factor. Who gets the start? We'll find out. It's supposed to be a game-time decision between Weber and Leatherwood. I would like to see both quarterbacks play. Both quarterbacks have a different package in. I would like to see that and find a way for the offense to get going. But the defense has got to get some takeaways. For them to win, they're going to have to win that battle. They had 6 takeaways during the homecoming. And for SEMO, who much needed getting a little bit of rest, trying to get a big win on the road against Tennessee Tech. It's going to be a fun one here today. You can listen to that game on our sister station, Real Rock 99.3. Noon kickoff there in Cookeville. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're talking things over with Dave Mirly, the head volleyball coach for the Jackson Lady Indians. We'll talk about that coming up next. Welcome back. It's the SEMO Scramble here on SEMO ESPN Radio, 1220 AM, 93.5 FM, and online, SEMOESPN.com. And happy to be joined now on our phone line with the head coach for the Jackson Lady Indian volleyball team, and Dave Mirly. Dave, how are we doing this morning?
Hey, we're doing great. Glad to be here. You guys are on a great show, and I'm just glad to be a part of it.
Appreciate it. And you guys have had a great season. How about this? 35-2 record. Again, just the 2 losses. I think you guys had a 22-match winning streak at one point. I mean, how about the season that you guys are turning into?
It's just been a magical run we've been on. We talk about every year in state there is 3 or 4 teams that just keep finding ways to win almost every game and have just that magical season. And, we started talking about this several years ago. It's like, why can't it be us? And, so far this year it has been us, and it's been an awesome ride.
So how would you define this season? What has led to so much success?
Well, lots of things went into it. These young ladies, they work so hard. They're such great kids. And to be a part of Jackson Volleyball, you have to you're a part of something much bigger than yourself. It's not about you. It's about what's best for the team. It's about changing positions if that's what's needed. It's about so many big things like that. And, these young ladies have just bought into whatever I've been saying, and we're all pulling on the rope the same direction, which has allowed us to be great this year. And then they go out there and they play at such a high level. It's just enjoyable to watch them compete out there and play.
Look, I mean, obviously you had some key players from last year's team leave. I mean, one that stands out is Katie St. John. We see what she's doing at SEMO. I mean, she might just be freshman of the year. I mean, she's been impressive. But who has helped lead your team this year? Who has stepped up and stood out?
So Ava Wessel's our captain this year, and she has done such a wonderful job of leading our team. She's making sure everybody's working hard. She does her part. And you talked about buying into a new position. She was our setter. She started setting her sophomore year on varsity. She set last year on varsity. And this year I didn't need her as a setter because I had two other young ladies who were really talented also. So we moved her to right side. And, I just said, hey, I need you to play right side this year. She bought in on the second I told her it. And, when you have a captain that will change a position for her senior year and not cause any problems, but just buy right into it, man, your whole team's going to be like, well, if she does it, then I can do whatever I need to do also.
You have played a tough schedule and a lot of very solid teams on there. I mean, how has the schedule helped prepare you for district play coming up in the playoffs?
Well, it's exciting because we feel like any team that we play from here on out, we have played another opponent throughout the season at that caliber. So we feel like we're very prepared. Now, I know if we make it far enough, we could run into Lafayette, and we feel like we have played a team as good as Lafayette, although the Witherspoon girl is at a really, really high level. I'm not sure that we've played a girl as good as her, but, not many people have a junior going to Nebraska either. So, but needless to say, we hope we get an opportunity to compete against her, and, we really believe we can win it.
You said something that spurred a thought in my mind. You mentioned Nebraska, and the first thing that I jumped to think about, obviously, there's historic success of that program, but also I think it was a couple of years ago they had an outside game at Nebraska. I know earlier this year, I think there was I forget where it was at, but there was a game this year that they were trying to do in the state, another high school game that they tried to play outside. I would love for that to happen at some point in the area. Man, if we could get a Jackson volleyball game outside at the pit one night, you're talking about some fun. Any chance something like that could happen in the future?
Yes, there's definitely a chance. The day after the Nebraska game happened, I walked right into Mr. John Martin's office, our athletic director at the time, and said, I want this to happen. And he is so supportive. He goes, well, Dave, make it happen. So I was on the phone. I was calling companies. I was calling people in Ohio. I was calling everybody. And feasibly, we just couldn't make it work out. And then Muscuda, Illinois, had done it a couple times also. And I've contacted them to see, hey, well, maybe it was a cheaper route, or, maybe I just need to get some sponsors to make this happen.
Right.
But yes, we would love to host a game at the pit. Man, it would be awesome. And we are actively working on it. We're not making much progress. So if there's any people out there who would like to sponsor it, it was going to be pretty expensive to get that court laid down on the pit. But there's always a possibility, and I think it'd be a great event.
All right, let's just get the Show Me Center court, just take it, remove it, put it in the pit, and let's get going. All right.
They're one of the people I called.
Yeah, for sure. All right, looking at for districts, right? Looking for your 7th straight district title. You've won 6 in a row. You have 5 30-plus win seasons in the last 6 years. So impressive. But what needs to come together for you to win another district title?
Well, first Monday we have to take care of business against Seckman. We have not played them yet this year. They have a couple of really good outside hitters that are getting kills almost half the time they swing, they're getting a kill. So we'll have to find a way to slow them down. If we could get past them, we're more than likely going to run into either a Lindbergh team that has a girl going to Mizzou at about 6'3" height, or Corey Zoo, who is really, really good this year. We beat them at our place earlier in the season. In 4, they won the first set. We won the next 3. And I think all 4 sets were tied at 21 at one point. So it could have gone either way. So that's what we have to, if we want to win a district title this year, that's who we have to go through. And we just have to, on our end of the court, make sure we take care of business. We got to not let any volleyball hit the floor. We've got to work together. We got to communicate. We got to keep the ball in play, and just do the things that's made us successful all season long.
You mentioned it Monday, 4:30 against Seckman. Corey Zoo face off against Lindbergh on Monday at 6. And then if you can make it to the district championship, that'll be on Tuesday, looks like, at 5 p.m. So look forward to that. I want to ask you this before we get out of here. Again, talking things over with the head volleyball coach for Jackson, Dave Mirly. Look, I mentioned the success. You've had a lot of success in your career. Won 6 straight district titles, looking for the 7th straight, but still searching for some of that higher postseason success. So one of the questions I have is, when you're talking to your team, when you get into those pressure games and situations, or maybe you're trying to come from behind, what do you say to your team? What's kind of the message? How do you teach those types of moments?
Well, we teach them in practice. We teach them in the summer in games. One of the biggest things we do is we try not to focus on the scoreboard. We just focus on getting the next point. So that way, if we're winning, we just try to get the next point. If we're losing in a big hole, which we've been, we just try to get the next point, and we just keep chipping away at the deficit. And then we really work hard at training the girls to be fearless. If you watch my team play, we do make a lot of mistakes sometimes, and you don't see me getting mad at them. You don't see me throwing my hands up in the air and stomping around. I used to, but I don't anymore, because I need my team to be fearless. And if you want to be fearless and you want to be very aggressive, you're going to make some mistakes. And then if the coach is getting mad at them, well, then they're going to stop being fearless and they're going to stop being aggressive. So just by the partnership that we have of, hey, I need you guys to be fearless. I need you to be aggressive so we can be great. And when you mess up, I'm not going to be all over you. I'm going to let it play itself out because I have confidence in you that we can dig out of a hole and such. So, that's played a huge part. So that way, if we get down, I've got confidence that we're going to come back. And, we've done that this year. We've done that last year. We're fearless. We don't look at the scoreboard. It doesn't scare us anymore. And that's helped us get those 30 wins many, many times, seasons in a row.
I love that, teaching them to be fearless. Coach, appreciate the time. Good luck to you in districts and beyond. Appreciate it this morning. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Appreciate it, too.
All right, Dave Mirly, the head volleyball coach at Jackson. Appreciate him. We're going to talk to Coach G of Caruthersville. Sammy Bryant's going to join us here coming up. First, I do want to mention real quick, another playoff game, Chaffee taking on Montgomery County today, 2 p.m., in the state quarterfinal in Class 2. Chaffee with a chance to make it to the state Final Four. Good luck to the Lady Red Devils today. Donovan also with a chance today against Blair Oaks in Class 3. Also, congrats to all those in the golf world. Grace Bell of Poplar Bluff, the freshman winning a state title. Grace Maurer for Notre Dame, 7th place as well in state. A lot of great athletes there. Tennis action going on. Claire Bean for Kennett with a chance to go on to state as well. So some great athletes here during crunch time making some noise. But next, let's talk some Caruthersville football when we come back. Welcome back in. It's the SEMO Scramble here on SEMO ESPN Radio, 1220 AM, 93.5 FM, and online, SEMOESPN.com. Happy to be joined on our phone line now with some Caruthersville stars. We got Sammy Bryant and then Coach Dom Guglielmo joining us this morning as well. So we'll start with Coach G. Look, a tough game last night against St. John. Things didn't go well, but still an excellent season. 7-2, guys playing well. But I don't know, for whatever reason, St. John teams have been a little bit of a kryptonite over the past couple of years. But what was kind of the struggles last night?
So you go and play a top 10 team in Class 3 on their home field on senior night, and we didn't play as well as we wanted to, and they played great football. And like I told Tom the other day, or last night, I mean, you take one of the top teams in Class 2 and you take one of the top teams in Class 3 and you put them against each other, only one's going to come out the winner, and we didn't play to our potential. And Scott City had a great game plan. I mean, when you have a running back like Sammy Bryant, they're gonna really focus on him, and they got the best of us. I'm proud of a lot of our kids for playing hard, and what's good about it is, as we look forward, we still have the new season starts today.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we never want to lose a game. I mean, I sat in the bus staring at the seat the entire way home, but I'm proud of our kids, and we just didn't play our best brand of Tiger football.
All right, I want to ask Sammy, again, you guys have had a great season, 7-2 record, some impressive wins on your schedule this year as well. But I want to ask you, Sammy, how much fun are you having? Number one, you're having a great season, but also, how was Coach G as a head coach? How has he treated you this year?
Good.
So how much fun are you having overall, just the season, again, that you're having, that your team's having, how you enjoying the camaraderie with the guys?
Very good.
All right. And, look, I got to ask you, Sammy, you're leading the area in rushing and in touchdowns. You've had, again, a great career. What's kind of been one of the reasons for your success? What's kind of helped you this year?
O-line, my coaches.
O-line and coaches. So when you're running the football, is it kind of instinctful? Like, are you just looking for those holes? I mean, just waiting for those to open, or just how would you describe your running style as well?
Just waiting patiently for the hole to open.
Would you consider yourself kind of a power back or a speed back?
Speed back.
All right. We'll switch here to Coach G for a second. Again, Coach Dom Guglielmo. Look, what do you think the district's outlook is for you guys? Obviously, it's going to be a tough district. You guys had that head-to-head with St. Pius in Week 1, so that, if I understand it correctly, you should be able to leapfrog them in districts, right? Do you expect to have that number 1 seed?
Yeah, I mean, I think from my understanding, when you have the head-to-head, you jump the head-to-head. So I expect to be the 1 seed just because of that. The point system is weird.
It is.
I mean, it's almost like I know some places have the formula all figured out. It's just a weird point system. But I understand why they do it. But so, yeah, we should be able to leapfrog St. Pius because we do have the head-to-head and get the bye. And we do have a tough district. I mean, you look at Pius, which it was a knockdown drag-out between the two of us Week 1. And we're both different teams than when we played Week 1. And then you've got St. Vincent, who's playing really good football right now.
Yeah.
Jefferson Festus is having a good year. And you can't even take out the boys from up the road in New Madrid. I mean, they've got the same dynamic athletes that we do. Like, they're athletic as all get out. So there's a lot of great teams in our district. And I think that when Valley got bumped up, everybody's like, oh, well, this district's just going to be – someone's just going to run away with it. And I'm like, no, because Pius is good. We're good. St. Vincent's good. New Madrid's like – there's some good teams in this district. It's going to be an awesome tournament starting next week.
Absolutely, should be fun. I want to ask Sammy, Bryant about districts here. Again, Caruthersville. I talked about it with Dave Jenkins earlier. We think that you guys have a great shot to potentially win districts, maybe even make some noise beyond that. But Sammy, do you think, number 1, can you win districts, and the number 2, if you win, what do you think would be the reason why?
Yeah, we can win it. And the reason why, we got a great team.
And also, look, you guys have found success. When you guys have been successful, Sammy, what seems to come together as a team? What are some of the things that make you guys play well?
Listen to our coach.
I like that. Obviously, Coach G comes up with some good game plans this year. Look, you have an opportunity. I mentioned earlier, you are right there towards the top as far as rushing in the entire area. I don't know what you had last night, but look, you lead the area in touchdowns and in rushing. I think you have a great opportunity to potentially win the Card Trophy this year and also the SEMO Ball Offensive Player of the Year. If that were to happen, what would those type of accolades and awards mean to you?
My dream came true.
Love it. Love it. Coach G, I want to ask you about this. We talked about districts. What have you learned about your team throughout the year? How you guys improved? And just, again, in your opinion, what are some reasons why, if you guys make a run, that would be?
I think, both of my coordinators are awesome. Joey Middleton and Brad Treese both do a really good job. I think on the defensive side of the ball, in the games that we've been really successful, we've been able to kind of neutralize the opposing team's run game. As the season went on, we started tackling better, definitely covering a little bit better, and our defense just continues to grow. We've had to move some guys around just based on game plan and scheme and all of that. So I think as we progress into the playoffs, we'll have guys settling in different areas that we need them to settle in at. Offensively, we know that whoever we play is just going to try to neutralize Sammy. I mean, shoot, if I was game planning against us, guess what we would be trying to do?
Exactly.
Neutralize Sammy. I think we have some things in the bag. The RPO game, which we threw a couple RPO bubbles last night, which were great. I mean, if we look at the games that we've been really successful on offense, we're nailing the RPOs pretty well. I think Sammy's grown as a football player and as a leader as the years gone on, which has been great. We have an awesome fullback, Trayshawn Mays. That kid, I wish there was a fullback award because that kid is one of the most unselfish kids on the offense. And then I'll give credit to our wide receivers. We've been able to get the jet sweep game rolling as of late. And again, last week, against Portersville, we were able to score twice on 2 long touchdowns on just an RPO slant. So we've got guys on the outside, Keaston and Josiah, that can really turn it up. And I mean, that's the kind of stuff that we really want to focus on. And when we have teams that try to take away Sammy, it really opens up the RPO game. And as we go in the playoffs, this bye week will be really, if we do get the bye, we'll be really focused on Caruthersville and not necessarily trying to figure out who's going to win the next game. Working on getting the bumps and bruises out and everything like that. And as we push into the playoffs, it's going to be, we understand what they're going to try to do, and we're going to have a counter off of it and keep pushing forward.
You mentioned maybe getting the bye week. That could be huge for you guys because your quarterback was injured last night. What's the update on him? How's he doing?
I talked to him this morning. Probably woke him up. But he's beat up. He's sore. But he says he gave me the coach, I'm going to be fine, which is a good thing to hear, naturally. I mean, he's going to be sore. I think he came down wrong on that shoulder a little bit. But, shoot, he played a heck of a game. He went in that we don't like to play him on defense very often, but we put him in there on defense at the end, and he sold out for the team, which we really appreciate. That's the kind of kid that Jared is. And he says he's going to be fine, so I believe him.
All right. The last couple things here for Sammy Bryant, and we'll end. Sammy, your coach talked about, look, every other opposing team is looking to stop you, looking to defend you. They're throwing hats at the football, right? I mean, when you know that you're going to get all these different people focused on you, does that make you even more hungry to find a way to prove them that you're still going to have success?
Yes, sir.
So when that happens, I mean, is it just a mindset type of thing? What's your mindset going into football games that, look, no one's going to get me down, or what's that like?
No one's going to get me down, and I'm going to keep pushing my feet.
Love it.
And it's going to take more than one person to get me down.
Love that. Last thing, Sammy, and I'll let you go. When you get a big touchdown or something like that, how do you celebrate? Do you have a go-to celebration? Do you celebrate with the boys? What is it?
I celebrate with the boys.
Love it. Do you do anything in particular?
I just jump with them.
Just jump with them. I like it. Hopefully you can do a lot of jumping going forward in districts, man.
Thanks.
All right. Again, Coach G, Coach Guglielmo, and Sammy Bryant joining us this morning on the SEMO Scramble. Guys, really appreciate it. Good luck in districts and beyond.
Thank you, man. We appreciate it.
You bet. Thank you. All right. A little Caruthersville football talk there, and appreciate them for joining us this morning. Sammy Bryant and Coach Guglielmo, so appreciate them for joining me. Good stuff, and it should be, again, high school football district action starting next week. A lot of those teams playing on Thursday, and Caruthersville has as good a chance as any to really make a run. So, hey, some good college football games today. Of course, NFL coming up over the weekend. The Chiefs play on Monday night against the Commanders. They're playing really well. Things going well for them. And again, big SEMO game today at Tech. Check that out on Row Rock 99.3. Chaffee softball today at 2. Other high school volleyball action going on today. You have Notre Dame and Cape Central squaring off today. You have some other big games today. So a lot going on over the weekend. I hope you can enjoy it. Stay safe. Have fun. We'll catch you next week here on the SEMO Scramble. Take care, everybody.
You've been listening to the SEMO Scramble on SEMO ESPN. Tune in every Saturday morning from 9 to 10 for a dash of hometown pride and the latest news, scores, and stories that matter most to local sports enthusiasts from the Boot Heel and beyond. Right here on SEMO ESPN 1220 AM, 93.5 FM, the SEMO ESPN app, and SEMOESPN.com.